Good morning, this is the Eager Beaver Show.
You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. PsychicTarot.ca, book your tarot reading and unlock your spiritual journey. And the Pepper Master, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. Well, good morning and hello, kids, and welcome to Season 5 and episode number 76 of the True North Eager Beaver Interview Project, or episode number 699 of the Daily Beaver Morning Show. 100%
696.
Canadian. 699. 100% Canadian. I'm your host, the Eager Beaver, pronouns he and him. Hey, Mr. Beaver A. And with me, as always, is my good friend, Mr. Grizzly. Today, recording day is Sunday, July 20th, 2025, for later broadcast on Thursday, July 24th. That's
Okay.
why 699.
You had me very confused.
I know. There's a method to my madness. It is still madness, I admit, but there's a method.
Okay.
So yes, we're doing a little time traveling for you kids and cubs. But hey, we're here and we're having a good time. As you can see, Mr. Grizzly is definitely taking some wonderful time out here on the porch because it is Sunday afternoon and gorgeous weather. So how is your mental health today, sir?
That's great, actually. I don't even have a hint of anxiety. And I start my new job tomorrow morning. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I got a 7 a.m. meeting and I go from there. So, yeah, I'm chill. Now, of course, this will be in the past when people see this, but yeah, I'm very chill right now. Surprisingly, I last night I was going to bed and I thought, well, do I start to feel that Sunday anxious feeling, that many of us have? Now, my previous job, I never had that because I loved going to work every day.
Right.
So I wouldn't, Sunday would go, come and go, and Sunday night you'd be sitting there going, oh, okay, you feel it rising. I didn't have that. And I'm not feeling that with this job. Now, I haven't started yet, but
Yeah.
I'm not feeling any anxiety. Now, that might have something to do with age and wisdom and experience. Wisdom might be a stretch, but experience and age, those are certainly two things I can combine. So,
yeah. Well, great. Well, you know what? I'm hoping it goes really, really, really well for you. And
me too.
First days can be a little chaotic.
Oh yeah. It's not like they're going to dump a whole bunch of stuff on me tomorrow. Just getting
Right.
familiarized, learn where everything. First few days are easy in.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, there are very, 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 very nice people there.
Well, I have every reason to hope so. Yes, and believe so.
Excellent. All right, kids and cubs, we have a guest for you today. Before we get to the introduction, I did not thank our founding sponsors. So the Pepper Master, the Miss V Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, and PsychicTarot.ca. I know. I'm doing things in a little bit of a different order today. But we do have a guest, kids and cubs, and we are very, very, very excited. Our guest has been a songwriter for 51 years, has played gigs in the US, in Fiji, in Australia, and all across Canada, mainly in Western Canada, but including right here in Kingston, where the Beaver Lodge is. Our guest has toured for about a decade straight in cover tune bands, played countless clubs throughout Western Canada. She has 5 records out to her name and is currently working on her 6th, and says of herself, quote, "I've never been kicked off or booed off a stage, so either people are too kind or someone out there hears my message." She came to our attention, right? Thanks to a kit who showed us a video that she made for a very special person who is a friend of the Beaver Lodge. But we'll tell you a little more about that, or actually, we'll let our guest tell you about that. So, kits and cubs, without any further ado, please put your paws up and give a big round of applause for musician, composer. She doesn't call herself a singer, but she's pretty darn good. Toni Vere. Welcome to the Beaver Lodge.
Hi, guys.
Hi, so nice to
Hey,
see you.
Oh, thank you so much for the invite. It's an honor to be here.
We are super glad to have you. We start with every guest asking the same show that I asked Mr. Grizzly. How is your mental health today?
It's wonderful. It's been an amazing weekend. I'm on the top of the world right now.
Excellent, excellent.
outstanding. Love to hear
And
that.
and where are you joining us from?
I'm in Calgary, Alberta.
Excellent. Fantastic.
Mm.
All right. So you have been a songwriter for 51 years.
Yep.
When did you first get that sense that you had something in you that you had to say and that music was the way to get it out?
I think it was accidental. I'm a child of an oilman, and we moved a lot when I was a kid.
Hmm.
And always finding myself in a new town and a little bit of loneliness for sure. I had trouble making new friends all the time. And my parents were wonderful in that they gave me music lessons. And when I was 12, I just remember a particular time where I was kind of inspired to write a Halloween song because I'm like, there's so many great Christmas songs out there. How come there's no great Halloween songs? And at that time, I didn't know about all those great 60s songs and super
Hmm.
naive as a child. I wrote a song about Halloween and then I played it for my mom and I played it for my friends, and everybody's like, oh my God, you wrote a song. So it was this positive reinforcement that was just like, wow, I did a thing and somebody noticed. And I think it just kind of went on from there. And I started writing like crazy through my teens. I was part of a folk program. It was LAFM in Lethbridge. And I was 18 at the time, and I was the youngest artist with the most original songs that they featured on the program. And that, super cool to have that happen. But then I went into this other trajectory where I was in cover tune bands for years, even though I wrote. But yeah, and that's kind of where it all started.
Okay. So how how does that how did the opportunity to do the cover tune bands thing come along?
Just, I wanted to play music, and I didn't really know much about how to get more involved with an original music scene. Very strong desire to put some beans in my jeans. I needed to make a little bit of cash, and not a lot of cash out there even today for newer songwriters, right? It's like pay to play almost. It's
Hmm.
not quite that bad, but it is tough out in there, and there's
Hmm.
a lot of amazing singer songwriters globally.
Right.
So I got in a cover tune band just so that we could get wedding dances and taverns and whatnot. And I supported my family for 10 years being on the road playing music exclusively. So, uh, that's probably was the driving
Wow.
force between why I got into cover tune bands.
Okay. So when did you start recording your own stuff?
My first record, the first project that I was involved in was 1993. I was in a band called Midnight Rider, and we won a little bit of a contest in Claresholm, Alberta, and we took the money and we toured to Langley, British Columbia, and in a little studio called Studio 56 that was my husband at the time's best friend, took us in and we record. Can I grab the album and
Sure.
show you it?
Yes,
Let me
please.
grab it.
This is so cool. I like
Yeah.
this.
So this is the record cover,
Okay.
and it's a cassette. So it was that long ago. We couldn't afford to get
Wow, yeah.
CDs, and we were a 4-piece band, and all of the songs on that one are original. And we rode that wave till about 1996, and the band broke up, and life goes on. And yeah, that
Okay.
was the start of the recording path.
Did you manage to get any play with it?
I don't think so.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
I full disclosure, I haven't had a lot of luck getting on the radio, but I think that there's a reason for that too. I feel that even though I'm recording my 6th record right now, I feel like I've been going to the school of how to come up with a product that you can be super proud of. And I feel like every time I've recorded, even though it's great product, the
mhm.
people I've worked with are amazing. I don't like to name drop, but I'm going to name drop just one
Please.
person. Greg Godovitz produced one of my records.
From Gatto?
Um, yeah, that's this one. So yeah,
Yeah.
Unrest.
I
and
don't know, Mr. Beaver, if you're familiar with Gatto, but it's big
I
time.
don't think so.
Big time.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I met Greg, and like amazing musicians, amazing studios, amazing production. The weakest link, and I'm not ashamed to say it, was always me. It was always me. Just not really understanding studio or how to bring the best performance. So even though I'm happy with those products,
Right.
I never felt in my head that I could just sit there and go like, yeah, I wrote that and those are my songs. And there was just a disconnect until
Mhm.
now. And there's something happening with this record and my writing where I just feel so in tune with what I'm doing that I'm just super proud of the work that I'm doing right now. And I just can't wait for this new record to come out. I'm over the moon excited for the opportunity to work with a couple of really great guys who see my vision like no other have ever seen it.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
Can I ask, what was there an event or realization that happened that or something that just went click that makes it such that you feel that this particular work is like just in a whole other category or another level of you?
Yeah, for sure. Whew, it's kind of heavy, but you know, my dad got diagnosed with cancer in October.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
It's life, and it's so many people's lives are affected by that. And
Mhm.
I barely kind of sunk in, and then my sister got diagnosed.
Oh my.
Yeah. So, super life changing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And through the course of my dad and then my sister, and I'm in Calgary, they're in Lethbridge. I'm kind of left here to my own devices. And like everything that matters to me in my life, it will end up in a song. And
Hmm.
so I just started writing, and I just started writing a whole different way than I've ever written in my life. And I started getting out more to try to keep my mind busy when I wasn't at work. I really
Mhm.
started getting out to open mics and made an active decision that, this songwriting habit I've got, it's not going to go away. You can take the girl away from the guitar, but the songs, I wake up writing them. And
Right.
so you just can't quit that when you have that artistic thing. And
Mhm.
so the writing is just taken a whole different level because I'm just super passionate about life and super passionate about the things in life and in the world that I see that upset me. Mankind is capable and so much better than so much of what we're seeing globally right now. And my heart is
Yeah.
really driven by that.
Hmm. Mr. Grizzly, do you have anything?
Uh, wow, that was kind of deep, actually. That threw me for a bit of a loop there. I agree with you. We are capable of so much better. We really are, and I see it daily in small doses. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, we don't put enough of a focus or a spotlight on the good that people do. And I
Yeah.
wish we could. And I wish there was more of a focus on it. And not the kind of focus where it's like, I'm Instagram famous because I gave a sandwich to somebody who lives in the street. Not that kind of thing. That's not what we want. That's not what I want. We want people doing good things that better everybody, which is, you know, part of the reason we have this show is to try and promote good people doing good things along with good politicians doing good things.
Indeed, indeed. When you're at this spot, and I mean, you're writing about things that are very real, that are very deeply felt, that can come from a bit of a darker place or from a place. When you take that and you have that experience, are you able to then take that as like a new skill and apply it to themes that are not as dark
Oh,
at
for
that
sure.
point? Or
I think so.
yeah?
Yeah, for sure. I have a tendency to write slower stuff, so just slower, darker. And I
Mhm.
listen to what my friends say and my peers and the people that I have mad respect for, and try to make something that might be dark and heavy and make it like tongue in cheek, kind of funny or satirical, um, to just try to get a message across that's not quite as deep and dark as what the reality of it may be. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Um, so you're recording. Are you still writing for the album or are you recording now?
Yeah, I think all of the above. For me to, I don't stop. I haven't stopped writing. I thought I was done writing for my record,
Okay.
but as I was recording, I've come upon just a couple other things that have inspired me, and I know I want to put two or three more songs on the record. I'm up to six now, including Bonnie, which I'm going to put on the record. Um, so I may end up with nine on there. So yeah, I'm sure writing every day and evaluating and trying to get them live to a stage where I can perform them live, because it's very important to me that whatever I put on this record, I can, turn on a dime and perform it live
Hmm.
with just as much conviction, whether it's by myself or with other musicians, as I do in the studio. So that's something that's different from my past records, because some of the songs I recorded in the past I've never played live. And I made myself that promise this time that there'll be none of them on this record. So yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's setting a higher bar though for yourself.
Mhm.
And you
Well,
were okay with that?
if I can't do it now, then there's no point in the art. I mean, well, why bother, right? Like, I feel like I have a message. I've got, something's under my skin right now, and what's the point if I can't inspire people and teach people and get people to listen to the state of what I see? And I don't know
Mhm.
anything. I'm not a politician. I'm not university educated. I'm the school of life, and everything I've learned has been thanks to the job that I have and all the programs they've put me through to make me a better professional at what I do. That it just has to end up somewhere, and for me, it ends up in a piece of music where I just want to inspire and educate.
All right. Now, from your website, when you were talking about that, I there was a passage that kind of stuck with me here, and because you write about real things, and we'll sort of get into some of that here. But you said, "I'm not interested in engaging in debate over how I feel. No words will convince me that what I see happening in the US is good. And I'll be clear here, I don't expect that my little unknown place on the web will ever change the mind of an extremist. I do not care to waste my energy. What I do want is to inspire the 60 or so percent that just want to go about their day, living their life, exhausted by the news, the ludicrous antics going on in the US, to wake up and do something about it. Remember what I wrote earlier? We own the company. What I want to do is inspire the current leaders or the wish to be leaders to stop pushing our country and provinces so far to the extreme sides of the fence that the other side has to win and undo the damage." I particularly like that because you're talking about the 60% or so of people that you call like the main shareholders of this company that we call Canada. And you're basically saying, when you're talking about extremism here, you're not talking about extremism in the sense of, white supremacists or whatnot. You're
No.
talking about it in terms of how we talk to each other and how we interact with each other and the positions that we take, and how far we're willing to go just to not be the other person or not validate the other person in any way, which I think is a really interesting take on it. And Mr. Grizzly says it all the time, and I say it all the time. We have a firm belief in this, that we're a radically centrist nation. If we're radical in any way, it's in our centrism, right? So I just read that, and it really, I felt it, and I was just wondering, like, if you could speak more to that, because that's sort of like, okay, we're doing the same thing through this venue, trying to reach the 60% in the middle, not trying to convince anybody, not trying, just to try to give people tools and, say what's out there. And, you take that, we always say, take the best and leave the rest of what we want, take what works for you. But there's a group in there that you've identified, and you've identified that they must be hungry for something. So I was wondering if you could speak more to that.
Yeah, for sure. I think when I engage in conversation over politics with people, the reason people go to the right or the extreme right is because they're so afraid of what's on the left and vice versa. So I've been calling this ping pong politics lately. I might write that song. I don't know. It's unsettling because there was a time when we were more unified globally, or pockets of globalization where we were more centralist. And there's just so much more peace and harmony in that. Because the truth is, I mean, if I had a dollar for the times that anybody called me a liberal because I disagree with some of the far right things that I see happening in the world, I'd probably retire. Some of the it's horrible, and the cruelty. I've never had anybody on the left side of it be as cruel as what the people on the right have been. And when you have an opinion about something and this right side disagrees with it, I feel so attacked, and part of me is like, I should just shut my mouth and not talk about politics, because getting attacked by people in private messaging or, on your feed, it's disheartening. And I had to learn how to just kind of, it doesn't affect me today. Like when I first started talking about stuff, I first started talking about stuff when Trump was running the first time. And I'll be clear about that. Like, I am scared to death, you guys, of that taking hold in this amazing country that we live in. But it feels like it's knocking on our doorstep. So, I hope I'm answering your question. I'm passionate about it because I think that the people that are more in that central realm, people just, let's put on some good tunes, man. I don't want to talk about politics today, man. Let's go to the bar and listen to a great band. Let's go to a movie, and all that's great. We got to do that stuff. But I know people that aren't even bothering to vote. It's like, get off the couch, man. If we continue to do that or not do anything, then it will be knocking on my door. And I'm scared to death of it. I'm scared. I have a wife, 23 years. I've lived through a lot of this that got us to today. And the fear that I could lose that, or I'm at threat of that, or my job and my life, it's enough for me to put my personal security, safety, whatever you want to call it, on the line to say, you know what, the buck stops here with me.
Yep.
and I want to educate. I want to inspire. That's
Mhm.
all.
Yeah.
One person. Can one more person just please go vote when the time comes and have a voice? Because the reverse is putting us in this area where we're threatened.
Yeah.
Well, the extreme right count on apathy. Like
Yeah.
they want you to be apathetic. They want you to feel so dejected, so that no matter what you do, it's not going to make a difference. So why would I even bother voting? You can look at the Fair Elections Act that Pierre Poilievre, the only piece of legislation that he ever wrote that brought his government down, because even Stephen Harper went, "Whoa!" And that was designed to basically disenfranchise people for the most part. That was the idea behind it, and he called it the Fair Elections Act.
Yeah. Particularly the young, the indigenous, and the poor.
Yes, yeah.
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 So yeah, I hear you. I hear you. What you're saying. We need to reach as many good people out there as we can, and there's more good people out there than people realize. But many of them are just. I think you alluded to it. People are tired of having to fight. It's like somebody says something extreme, and I'm like, well, I don't think that's a very good idea. And suddenly they attack you for it. Like you said, if you had $1 for every time they called you a liberal just because you disagreed with what they were saying, like, excuse me, since when does I think what you just said is a bad idea? Why does that make me something else? Why can't it just be my opinion is I think that's a bad idea? Why did you have to label me with a political party, the one that you hate with a passion so much that it's become your entire identity, and you strap flags to your truck and drive around with F Trudeau? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
I do.
like those are the
Yeah.
Yeah.
people we're never going to reach.
No, never. They've gone down they've gone down a path that they don't hear anymore. So they're
Nope,
right off. I don't want that entity to grow. And
God
if we
no.
don't want that to grow, then we need to foster the growth of what we do want to grow.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right?
I like what you said about, yes, we do need music that's fun and frivolous, and you can just like forget the day and like dance your cares away and all that kind of stuff too. But you write folk music. I,
Yes,
I
I do.
I mean, it's like folk music is going to be inherently political in some way. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a folk song that didn't have some type of political undercurrent at the moment, and I can't come up with one, to be totally honest. It's like, hey, everybody, normally we talk about what's going on with the working man, or how the world is changing in ways we might regret later. But hey, this is a little ditty about, yeah, I just got paid and it's Friday night. It's like, it's,
For sure. For sure. Right.
uh,
There's a place for it all. Yeah.
yeah. So, um, when you get there's this whole thing out there, and I'm sure you've encountered it with the negative messages, and I know you're in a different spot now, but the whole shut up and sing, shut up and dribble, shut up and entertain me. It's like, do I come to listen to music because I want to be entertained and forget about that? Do you have to get political? I guess, or even if your music is not political, but you do a TV interview and you mention something that's like, please don't insult people who didn't vote the same way you believe. I mean, it's like I it's music, you're artists, you're like, and particularly when you're a folk artist, right? So, have you encountered that? The just shut up and sing or shut up and entertain me? And, like, where were you then, like, the first time? How did it hit you, and where are you now when you encounter it?
Well, for sure. Historically, that's when you start pulling out the cover tunes, like let's do some Merle Haggard, let's do some Beatles and stuff that makes you happy. I just give in. Um, um, I just played in High River, which is Danielle's hometown. And I was a little bit worried. I'm going to play in High River, and my songs are political. There's political messaging in a lot of my work. And I just decided to just do me. So that was before I'd resort to cover. Today, I'm like, I'm just going to be authentic. in what I do. I don't hate anybody. I love people. And I'm going to sing this from a place of love for wanting a better place, a better headspace in our world. Anyway, it was a great show. Um, no complaints on my end.
Right on.
Hugs from the owners, the husband and wife team that run it. And it was a little place called the Mucky Duck Pub. And yeah, now, and you know, there's this thing with what I do that's changed since October. And it's even just finding my voice. I have a different voice today than I did before. And I sing my songs with this conviction that I've never had before. And the thing that I've noticed is when I do get up and I sing these songs from my heart and my soul and my guts, people do listen. And they invite me back. And that has to tell me I'm doing something right by just honoring who I am as an artist.
Yeah. Authenticity matters. People connect with it.
Yeah.
They don't even have to agree with what you're saying. Like you could just be sitting there going,
That
you know what? It's like she's really feeling that, whether I agree or not. And that will connect.
and I guarantee you there's somebody in the audience that would be able to be in touch with the lyrics and the songs that you're singing. There's always, no matter where you are, you're always going to find a group of people that are part of your, oh boy, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this, but part of your tribe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no matter where you go, there's always going to be folks who you know, you tell them a story and they're going to be able to relate to it. You sing a song, they're going to be able to relate to it. Maybe not everybody in the room, but there's definitely going to be people that will relate to it. And the ones who do tend to have the ability to spill over their emotions onto others. And it just lifts everybody up. At least that's my take, my vibe. That's what I've seen.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you've spoken about Danielle. So, might be a good moment to give the kids and cubs a little taste of the music of Toni Vere. And we're actually going to go counter because you say you usually write things that are slower and whatnot. And this one actually happens to be a fun little quick one, more upbeat. So, kids and cubs, if you will, please make sure that you have your favorite little bevy close to you, and please take the time to enjoy this one. Would you like to introduce it or speak to it a little bit, or do you want to wait until it plays and then speak to it after?
Let's let it play. Let it rip.
Let it rip. Okay. Here we go, kids and cubs. Whoops. Not sure what happened there.
Well, hello, Danielle. There you are. I saw your post about Trump's trade war. I hardly believe the things you said that day. A month or so ago, you were deep down south, flapping and a yapping and a running your mouth. MAGA's great, Canada's bad. We saw the clips, all the fun you had. My tax dollars got you there, and that's my problem, 'cause you don't care. Oh, Danielle, what the hell's going on? We all love jobs, we like to get her done. Reality's you're barely number one. You got enough votes to get you through, that's true. You're just a DI with a dotted line. Yesterday that might have been fine. The way things are going, your momentum's not growing at all. You're helping start a movement, Alberta needs improvement. A lot of us don't think you can do it. Oh, Danielle. Hello, can I speak to Danielle? What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? If the scandal in healthcare wasn't enough, if the opposition didn't call your bluff, if you just paid hard-working folks what they're worth, and quit fueling up those pickup trucks and approve bucks and doing things behind our backs and making poor folks pay the tax. Oh, Danielle, what the hell's going on? What the hell, Danielle?
Love it. Love it. Love it.
That was good. That was good. I like that.
Okay. First time you performed that one in public. I mean, what's going on?
Full
'Cause
disclosure, I haven't played it in public yet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's enough of me that's a little bit nervous about it. You know, I voted for Danielle Smith.
All right.
I did. I believe in fiscal responsibility and all the things that the conservative historically, you know, lots of things in the conservative wheelhouse.
Right.
But she's just to me and the people that in my tribe, the people in my, you know, wheelhouse, they feel that she's just aligning so much with this far right rhetoric down south. And I didn't vote for that.
Mhm.
I didn't vote for that. And I cannot understand when the people of Alberta say no, why they continue to do these things that are going to cost Albertans ultimately so much money, and harm the 60% who are sitting on their couch watching Days of Our Lives. That, you know, enough. And we're not. I don't know who she's pandering to. I don't understand. Who is this demographic that think it's rah, 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 100%, like what she's doing is great? Because other than the people, there's a demographic and people on social media that, you know, call me a liberal whenever they think that I'm being too liberal, that believe it. But when I have conversations and I see lots of people all the time, diehard conservatives that are just like, what the hell, Danielle? Like, what's going on? We don't agree. I don't want an Alberta police force. Or
No.
she better explain to me a little bit better than when we voted against it. Like, they do things to decide whether or not Albertans want it, and then they do it anyway.
Right.
So why bother having to vote? The coal mines. You know, I have a lake lot down by Pincher Creek, and if they decide to go for coal out there, it's gonna completely change the landscape out there, and it's a
Right.
company that isn't even Canadian, and F and right? Like it's I don't know. It's
Well,
baffling.
Canmore got out of coal mining how many decades ago, right? And now Canmore's like a resort town, and it's the center of the Canadian Alpine team, and Canadian athletes, Olympic athletes, train there year round. And it's all of a sudden like they've gotten away from coal, and the people of Canmore are like, yeah, we don't want to go back there. And all of a sudden Danielle wants to do this. It's like, are we going to have another scar on the mountainside? Are we going to take a mountaintop off? Like, what are you doing to the beauty of this province? I mean, the Rockies, some of the most beautiful places on earth, and she wants to exploit the hell out of it for money. Like, what the hell, Danielle?
Yeah. And you know, we need jobs. We need jobs. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
We need good jobs, and I understand the driving force behind that desire, but we're just handing the keys to the cookie jar to another foreign entity, and
There you
that's
go.
where I'm just
Yeah.
like, it just feels like a sellout. It really does. And is that all we have in Alberta? You know, there's coal mines in central Alberta that when the NDP were in power, they shut off the electricity generating coal mines in central Alberta.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're all gone now. They've been decommissioned. So you know, central Alberta is going to be fine. They're hanging up the keys to the coal mines, but now we're going to go to one of the most pristine,
Right.
most beautiful place in Alberta, the Crow's Nest Pass, those foothills. uh, I can't even express the beauty of that land. And it's just like when the world is moving away from coal.
Yeah,
I get it. We need it for
exactly.
some things. And this is the coal for steel. I get it. It's a different type of coal. I don't know. I just have a hard time when people have voted against it in this province, whether I wanted it or not. The
Hmm.
people of this province clearly said no.
Right.
But here we are, because it doesn't matter if the people say no anymore. It doesn't matter what the people want anymore. And that's the government. That's what's happening in government. It just seems that they do what they want once they're elected. And there doesn't seem to
Well,
be a way to hold them to accountability for what they're
I
doing.
think if what you're saying is correct, they do what they want once they're elected. But I think it's less they do what they want. They're doing what they're told by their puppet master oligopoly, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, whoever's pulling the strings.
Hmm. I am the thing with the crow's nest pass that jars with me is that she just pulled the rug under the renewable sector because it apparently creates a blight on the natural beauty of Alberta. But yet she wants to go to one of the most pristine areas and create a blight on the natural beauty, not for something renewable, but for coal.
Yeah.
I
It,
I digress, I know, but that's when you're talking about that, that's the first thing that comes to me, you make it so clear, you know, and then I think, "Okay, then how does that jive with the thing that she said 15 minutes ago on this issue?" And your brain short circuits, right? Because you can't get together, which gets back to the thing where that Mr. Grizzly said and you said, right? It's just trying to create a public square where that 60+% could hang out and just make it so unpalatable to be there that everybody does go home and watch Days of Our Lives because it just requires a whole lot less effort. You just put your head down and hope it blows over. But like you mentioned, that's not going to happen. People have to get up. As we said on our show, democracy is something that you do. You got to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gee. Um, when when you're composing at the moment, where you are now, what are the types of things that are going around you that you pick up that make you think, well, wait a minute, there's a song here.
Everything. Really everything. Couple of songs that I've worked on in the past, something will strike me as, for example, when my daughter was in grade 9,
Mm-hmm.
she was coming home from school and she comes in the house in a panic. She's like, "Mom, the guy next door is mowing his lawn in his underwear." And I'm like, What?" And I go outside and I look, and sure enough, our next door neighbor John is mowing his lawn, and he's in his underwear. It's like he forgot his pants. He forgot his pants. And I just thought to myself, well, he's not hurting anybody. It's just underwear. It's like a Speedo, but it's
Hmm.
underwear. And I'm just like, that just sounds like a great opportunity to talk about my neighborhood. And so I wrote a song called John that's about my neighborhood. And recently I had to get a CAT scan, a CT scan on my wrist, and I went straight to the hospital after work. And so I had on my steel-toed boots. I had on this jacket, which is like my favoriteest jacket in the universe right now because of my Canadian flag.
Right.
And I got my ball cap on, and this lady across the waiting room just yells at me randomly. She's like, "Hey, are you a farmer?" And I kind of sat up and I looked at her and I'm like, "Well, yeah, sort of. I'm a song farmer." And so I came home and I wrote Song Farmer.
Ah,
So, you know,
Nice.
and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the philosophy. It's a bit of a global movement right now. HOP principles, so human and organizational
yes.
performance, and
Okay.
the intersection between workers and what drives them to make the decisions that they make. And the old game in industry where it was blame and punish versus can we seek to understand in order to kill less workers on an annual basis in Canada? I'm in health and safety in my real life.
Hmm.
And I love health and safety. It's very near and dear to my heart. So I wrote a song about HOP principles because historically, when a worker hurts themselves, they get fired or they get in trouble for the mistake that they made, instead of us seeking to understand which can keep this from happening in the future. And so I came home after a seminar and I wrote a song called Don't Shoot the Dog. And it's very much about fix the fence. Can we just fix the fence? Why do we have to shoot the dog? And it's about workers in historical from a historical viewpoint, trying to teach people again why we don't want to do with that anymore and why we want to fix the fence instead. So I try to find inspiration in truly in everyday things, and that's my driving force. I want to be able to write a song about everything, even going back to the late '90s. Had some things happen in my life, and I had quit writing. I made a conscious decision, like I'm done writing forever.
Okay.
Music has only messed with my life. It just causes more trouble than it's worth, and I quit. And I was cleaning the house. I was cleaning the house on a Sunday, and I was watching CMT. And there was a special on with Mary Chapin Carpenter, and she
Mm,
was speaking about a song that she had written called "This Shirt." And this song is not about a shirt at all. It's about life. And there was a line in that documentary that said, like, to take an inanimate object and write something that was, a metaphor for life. Like, that's the real gift as a songwriter.
right.
Hmm.
And I grabbed my guitar and I sat down, and I'm like, I was so inspired by that story that I wrote a song called Levi Strauss. That is to this day, one of my most favorite songs that I've written in a long time. And it's absolutely 100% a reflection of my life at that time. And, again, it's just whatever strikes me, I'll start journaling about it. My partner can attest to this. Like, I always, always, always have my iPad in my hand and I use notes, and I'm constantly writing my thoughts and the things and my observations or song ideas.
Right.
And yeah, I just I just want to tell the story of life as I see it.
Excellent. Do you have anything, Mr. Grizzly?
And no, I just wow, that's pretty heavy duty actually. Like, I, I I'd never, I've tried to. I play guitar. 57-year-old white male. Of course, I play guitar, right? Like, uh, but and I worked in construction for 29 years too. I don't do that anymore, but uh, I've tried to write, and I've never ever been able to. I can throw a few chords together, but I just can't find lyrics. And anything I've ever written was just been, as far as I was concerned, absolute garbage. I haven't written anything in 25 years, just simply because I tell myself I'm not good enough, and truthfully, I'm not. I'm the campfire guitar player. You've got singer, songwriter, musician. You got guy who plays guitar, guy at the campfire. That's me. And even then, I'm like, which chord is that? So to take, like you say, an inanimate object and call the song that title, and then write something about your life around that. I wish I had the ability to do that. I wish I had the ability to. I don't. I don't. And so my hat is off to you. And I'm a little envious that you have that skill set and the ability to write about your life and put it to music, because I can't do it. I just can't. I wish I could.
Yeah. I think the real art is in the editing, which is something that I was not very good at for my previous 5 records. That's the truth. It's like you write something, you're so proud, I did a thing, and you don't know how to edit. And then I always go listen back later. And I'm like, I wish I would have had this line. I wish I would have had this word. And I'm working on becoming a very fierce editor in my own work. And
Mhm.
my partner is hilarious. I call her my song scrubber because I'll be working on something and she'll just yell down a word down the stairs and she'll be like, Chevy or whatever the word might be. And it's like, oh, I'll just grab that word. That's the one I need there. And yeah, editing is where the real art lies.
Oh,
Anybody can write stuff down. It's being a good editor that really will turn it around for you.
so what are
Agreed.
let's say that you have some aspiring musicians listening now. Um, what is it about? Like, what do you look for when you are editing? Because sometimes it's taking away, and sometimes you need to add something, or sometimes it's um, uh, it comes out the first way as it comes out, but then you sing it again, and it's like that's not ringing particularly true.
Yeah, that's a great question. I did a workshop in Nashville with Mary Gaucher. I can never say her name right. That really talked about the muse on one side. What
Okay.
is it that inspires you? And you should never, in my humble opinion, shut down the muse. Let it go.
Okay.
Scrambled eggs and ham all day long, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? Let it sit and go back and do the editing. And I don't know if there's a time when you could definitively say, I'm done editing and this is the done deal. But there's
Mm,
a time when you're writing where when you perform it and you're kind of polishing a little bit for a live performance, where it sticks and you're like, yeah, it's just like it's like any kind of art, painting, anything. It just sits at a certain point, and you need to just pay attention to when that moment happens, and you need to be like just open. Don't rush it. Just follow your heart and your soul. You really know when it's done. And if there's any little inkling in your gut or anywhere, your brain, that says I'm not quite done, listen to it. That's your intuition
right.
telling you. And I think, human beings, some of us are really good at listening to our intuition and our gut. Some of us aren't. And I never used to be. As a songwriter, I'm like, I'd write it and I'd be done. I'd move on to the next. And I probably have 100 songs and I'm like, oh man, I wish I would have done that thing or not done that thing. And oh well, I'm done. I've moved on. And instead, attribute the past songs and records I've done as the university of learning how to do the thing. And I'm okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Right.
we all had to learn somewhere. I didn't go to school for music. I learned to play as a kid. I haven't done much for songwriting either.
Right.
Um, I've done a couple workshops and I just do my thing. And it's it's just real. It really is who I am. And I don't aspire to be like anybody else, and people are either going to like it or they're not, but I'm not going to not be who I am in order to try to get likes.
Right. Good stuff.
Something you said a moment ago that reminded me. John Mellencamp, when he was still John Cougar Mellencamp, when he wrote the Scarecrow album, he sat down and he wrote over 200 songs for that record, and then
Wow.
went through and filtered. And he said, I was going for spontaneity over exactness. He said, so I'd write a song because I'd have something in my head. I'd sit down, I'd write it, and I'd put it out, and then I'd move on. And I just wrote all these songs, and then I went back and revisited and picked the ones that I thought I could do something with. And that's how that album came to be. And I mean, that was the album that made him everything, right? Like
Right.
Pink Houses. I mean, that was a big, big record for him.
I love
But
that
yeah, it
record.
was what you said. Oh, it's a great record, start to finish. But it was like you said, just write everything, write it down, put it out, make it happen. You go back and do your edit and see what comes from that. And that's something that not everybody's capable of.
No.
Many,
And
many, many, many artists aren't.
yeah, like I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody in Alberta. I haven't done anything profound or amazing. I'm just this girl that has a little studio in her basement and go to work every day. And I hope this record gets a little bit more traction because truthfully, my super top secret plan of my life, when I reach the point where I do retire, I want music and that's what I want to
Mhm.
do. And that's what I'm building right now, and I hope I get some airplay. I hope I get some festivals, because I love this more than anything in my life. I love performing.
Mm-hmm.
I understand
Mm-hmm.
that. I do.
Now, you've given me a perfect segue because you say I'm a nobody, and well, I don't particularly believe that's true, at least if it ever was, which I don't think is true, but certainly not anymore. Because
Yeah.
you have written something, you referenced it earlier, a song named Bonnie, that a lot of people seem to have very instantly connected with. I don't know if you've ever written a piece that you've had that type of reaction, but so what is Bonnie? How did it come about? Because and then like let's just start with that because I got so many
Yeah.
questions.
So, like you guys are learning about me, I'm very interested in what's going on in politics.
Right.
And I know that what's going on in Battle River Crowfoot is legal. This is how people that lose their seats get their seats back. Um, Very conservative riding. Uh, it's a shoe-in, right? Pierre's going to win. And out of the left field or right field, just center right field, I should say, just center right field, comes Bonnie Critchley. And I started reading about her. And the more I read and the more videos I watched, I was just filled with this sense of the courage
Yes.
to say, you know what, this is my home, this is my riding, this is our riding, and you don't live here. And what she's saying, that he's going to win and they're never going to talk to him again, really resonated with me, because even though it's legal, is it just? Is it right? And it isn't, in my humble opinion. And that community, that riding needs to elect Bonnie, period. And as I read through, I could feel it in my guts. It's like, well, this is going to be a song. So I
Mhm.
sat down and I just started writing based on the things that she was saying, her passion, her words. I don't know her. I've never met her. I didn't hear about her. I didn't have a clue who she was till she just popped up on my feed one day. And I sat down and I wrote Bonnie. And that song took me 15 minutes to write.
Wow.
It was just like, blah. There it goes. A little bit of editing for sure. Little bit of editing. And I posted that video because I was inspired by her courage and her guts to take on the status quo. And that thing grew some legs, man. It just grew some legs. And off she went. And within 18 hours of posting my crappy version, it's just live off the floor or whatever, her campaign got in touch with me. And they were very moved by what I had done. And they asked if the song could be their official campaign song. And I'm like, yes, all the way home. Absolutely. I would be blown away if you did that. And they wanted to share that video. And I said, if you'd be so kind, I have a better performance in me than that. So I would really like, just give me the day. I'd like to get in touch with my studio and go and record it one more time for you. And that's exactly what I did. Within 6 hours, I got in touch with the guys that I'm working at. It's the Rabbit Hole Studio down in Diamond Valley.
All right.
And they cleared their table, their plate for me. They said, come on down. So I ripped down after work and we started working at it about 5:30. And we were wrapped up by 9:30. And then they put together the audio and the video. It was just filmed live and they put it together and I let her go. And here we are.
Was like I said, first time I heard it, for me, it was instant. We had the pleasure of having a conversation with Bonnie a little over a month ago now, and we're watching her progress and how she's been going through in the campaign, and more attention that she's been getting, and then all of a sudden, the way it hit us is that, oh my God, somebody wrote like she's so connecting. Not only did she get into talk on power and politics, but somebody wrote a song about her. Like, how cool is this? Because like we're from the sidelines going, "Go Bonnie!" Like we're cheering too. So when I saw that, I was like, "Wow, this is so cool." And then, of course, I did see later that because you basically answered all my questions all in one before I could ask them, which is great. But I was going to ask you eventually, had Bonnie seen it, and what was the whole thing? So to let you do that. Um, so yeah, I mean, campaign song. Uh, what were the first like reactions that you got? Not necessarily from Bonnie's team, but like how did you get the sense that this was what was having legs? What was happening in real time?
Well, I posted it on Facebook, and um, I posted it after work one day. And when I woke up the next morning, it had 800 views, which for me is like off the charts.
Right,
I get a few hundred views on some of my stuff. Some stuff is better than others for views. And the shares, I think that was the other thing. I think it was sitting at 23 shares. And I'm like, wow, that doesn't normally happen when I post something. So, full disclosure again, like I put the hashtags on there
right,
because it was about, Bonnie.
right.
And I can't imagine, again, just being in her shoes and the energy and the effort that it must take to be on this path that she's on. And somewhere in my heart of hearts, I just wanted to lift lift her up a little bit and be like, we're even though I can't vote, I'm not from there. There's people that recognize your message and your platform and what you're trying to do here. And I can't imagine being Bonnie or being a person where somebody would write a song about their efforts. So I just wanted to breathe extra life into what she's doing. So the shares, the amount of views of it kind of got me right off the charts. And then again, getting up in the morning within the 24-hour period, I had heard from her campaign manager and shared it on her page. I just kept, everybody was just sharing it, share, share, share. And I think I put it on my Instagram, I put it on my YouTube channel. It's on my web page. And I just started a TikTok account and I'm taking little snippets of it and I'm sharing just the little. Not much happening on TikTok yet, but I'll just continue to have a little bit of faith because I believe that honesty and integrity and authenticity is something that people in this world are craving more of.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm sure that our kids and cubs who have not heard it yet are absolutely going to want to hear what we're talking about. So, again, please, for a couple of minutes, relax with your favorite bevy and please enjoy Toni Vere singing Bonnie. Now, just before I play it, the one that's on your webpage is the one that you had redone, right?
Yeah.
The cool version. Okay. Just want to make sure that we play the best version. Oh, there you go. That was absolutely fantastic. What did you think, Mr. Grizzly?
Sorry, I just had to unmute my mic there. I've watched it a few times since you sent me the link. I love the song. Each time I hear it, I connect with it more, and it's a great piece of music, great message, and the thing that resonates is Bonnie's going to listen. Bonnie's going to speak when the others won't. She's going to listen at the same time, and we know darn well the major opponent she is facing off against in this election doesn't know how to listen and refuses to. So, yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Tony. My hat is off to you once again. I love it right from start to finish.
Thank you.
There's it's a slower song compared to the first one, but there's when you talked about the conviction, like there is this just quiet but very calm assuredness that, yeah, this, if you vote for her and if she does win, this will indeed happen. And you are convinced of it. Like I believe it when you sing it. And I think that's probably the thing that most struck me because, it's a quiet song, right?
Yep.
And yet I'm listening to it, and when you're getting up into the chorus, like I'm feeling it right in my solar plexus. Like it's hitting me right here, right? Like this, and then when you end, it's like Bonnie's gonna make her people proud, like this, and I'm just like, it's right. Like I said, it hits you in the face with how just compact and simple and concise, but so full of substance that it is.
It's a velvet hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think too, I think that the rhetoric and the noise and everything to do with the things that I feel most people don't want. As I was writing it, I wanted it to be a gentle reality check. It didn't need to be something different than what it is. Just an honest piece of work that lays it out honestly in black and white. I try to, to me, it's Bonnie today, but what independent in the future will be inspired by that? Because I think that there's an independent movement in this country. We're all tired of, again, just going back to the extremes. And it's not that we don't agree with the values of the conservative party. There are many values that many of us believe in. But it's these other things that are coming in through the back door that are just kind of embarrassing, and not the politics that are going to drive our country forward. It's going to turn us into the dark ages, like what's happening in the US right now. It's a horror story to me.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yep.
They've taken the progressive out of the party, right? They were progressive conservatives. Now they're just, what was it that Aaron O'Toole described them as? Social conservatives. And I went, whoa, what? And when Candace Bergen was the leader for a very short time period, when Volodymyr Zelensky spoke in the House of Commons, each leader got up and made a speech, and each leader said Canadians are there to support you, except for Candace Bergen, who said Conservatives are there to support you. I'm like, do you not see yourselves as part of Canada anymore? Or do you not see yourself as Canadian? Like, what has happened? This is the
Yeah.
Reform Party. It's not the Progressive Conservative Party. It's the Reform Party.
Yep.
And,
That's the
you
reality
know,
that we're dealing with now.
Yeah. So you've recorded this song, right? Bonnie's taken it. You know, she's making it her campaign song. Where do you think this can go?
You know, I've let her campaign manager know that if they want me to come and perform it live at any of the things that she has going on, I'm happy to do that. I mean, honestly, I haven't got a clue where it's going to go. I know what this opportunity has done for me as an artist. I just feel like it's given me a little bit of, bounce in my step as well, because when you do something that resonates with people other than yourself and your two dogs that sit in the studio floor and listen to you all day long, it it gives you some validity, to what it is you do.
Right.
And as much doubt, and I think that's by our very nature, a lot of artists, I know myself for sure, like, I'm the best person I know at doubting myself.
mhm.
I'm the best person I know. I'm the front of the line, beating myself down with a stick all the time. So when you do something like this and it resonates with people you don't know, it just makes you take a pause and go like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this thing because it's important, not just to me,
Mhm.
but to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And is who I am as a person with my work, my day job, my music. I want to inspire more than anything in this world.
Mm-hmm. If I could ask if you'll indulge sort of wildest fantasies, if you had your druthers, where do you hope this goes?
I want to tour the world.
Yes.
Respect
No,
that.
I want to continue to bring the message of the people to the people. I want the Calgary Folk Festival to call me up and say, "Hey, we just cleared a spot for you.
Yeah.
You can have a half an hour on the main stage." You know, um, I want all the opportunities that have never come my way. I want somebody to see that I'm ready to step into that.
Dare I say it? This is your Oliver Anthony moment.
That would
You know
blow
who
my
Oliver
mind.
Anthony is?
Oh,
You
I
know who he
sure
is.
do. Sure
Yeah,
do.
Mr. Beaver, I'm not sure if you're familiar. He was the fellow who wrote the song "Richmond, North of Richmond."
Okay. I'm
Amazing
familiar
to
with the
He is
song, but
he's just a fella who was down on his luck, and he just got up and stood in front of a microphone and played his guitar and sang his heart out, and people connected with it. And the funny part was the Republican Party said, "This is the song of the working man," and he goes, "The song is about you people." It's not about the Republicans. It's knocking you down. What are you talking about? The Republicans want nothing to do with the working people. That was
no.
his
Yeah.
comment on it, because he was talking about rich men north of Richmond. Well, what's north of Richmond, Virginia? Washington, D.C.
mhm.
That's the whole point of the song. He's talking about politicians who are using and abusing us and robbing us blind. And anyway, I think this is your Oliver Anthony moment. I really do, and we're going to promote it as much as we can to try and get as many people listening to it.
Yeah, I put the call out. People, I would love it if radio picked it up. There's got to be a spot for it on radio.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's political or not, as much as inspiring people to just listen a little bit more closely to their hearts. And I've sent it out to a few places, but I'm a team of one,
Hmm.
and I don't know nothing. I don't know how to make that happen, and I'm not going to pay to play anymore. I've invested a lot of my life and my dollars into what I do, and I have a studio that I'm working with, and I'm going to rely on people calling radio and asking for the song. And, if I could wake up with a whole bunch of views and stuff like that on my YouTube channel, I'd pinch myself and I'd go write another song probably.
Well, since you're talking about it, where can the Kids and Cubs find your music online?
So everything that I've done in my life pretty much is on Apple and Spotify. Every streaming platform that basically you can upload music to, it's all there. My life's work. Some stuff that I'm probably not as proud of as I am of Bonnie, but it's there because it's the progression and it's the
Hmm.
university of learning how to do this thing, and that's okay with me. I don't need to be perfect. I need to be real.
All right.
Perfection is boring. You don't want perfection. That's boring. If
Yeah,
everything's perfect, there's no mistakes being made. If there's no mistakes being made, you're not learning anything. No,
yeah,
perfection is not for no. This is like you said. It's the progression, right? And you see it.
yeah,
Your catalog shows it, and that's something to be proud of because you can look
yeah.
back and go, the first thing I did, I thought I was pretty good at, and I look back and go, "Ooh," but I don't
I
take
have
it
a lot to
away.
learn. Yeah,
Yeah, you leave
100%.
it because then people can see how you've grown as well. So yeah, never
Yeah,
strive for perfection. Strive for better. That's my philosophy. Strive to be
yeah.
better.
The gentleman that I'm working with in the studio right now, Sean and Jay, um, they've really coached me from an authenticity perspective because I used to think that I need to sing something perfect because if I blow a note or my voice cracks, people are going to be like, ha ha, she can't sing, or ha ha, whatever. Like I got the bad devil and the
Hmm.
angel on my shoulders, right? And they're beating me down. And they're like, no, Tony, your, your gift is your heart and your soul, and just be real. And that's just brought me so far. I'm just so grateful to work with such pros that understand my vision.
All
Outstanding.
right. Outstanding.
My
Um,
hat is off to you.
yes. And
Yeah,
hopefully, because you're now saying it out loud, someone might hear it. So,
I hope so.
Calgary Folk Festival, if you happen to be
Yeah,
watching.
yeah, yeah.
If you
That'd be
can't find
awesome.
Keep in
Tony, write
touch.
us. We'll get her the message. Just call. Call now.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll even throw in a free set of Ginsu knives.
Call now.
That's awesome. Right
um,
on.
before we go, there's two things I wanted to ask you because there's something you said earlier, and I want to come back to it. Because you mentioned you had stopped writing for a while. What made you come back?
Well, the Mary Chapin Carpenter
Mhm.
documentary got me to write Levi Strauss. And I went into quite a writing binge then. When I haven't written, uh, probably suffering from depression, without a doubt.
Mhm.
I've had some things in my life that have brought me to pretty low places. That's a great place to write from. You might not end up with something you want to publish, but it's a great place to work stuff out. Um,
Yeah, it's very therapeutic, right?
it is, you know. I think the people where my music does like resonate, and some of the people that are in my life that have been my supporters. One of my dearest friend, Carla Olive, she's an artist on Vancouver Island. Uh, I'm pretty sure she's dragged me through the last 15 years of my life, getting me to find my voice and to continue doing what I do. It's getting outside of my own head and listening to that inner voice that says you're not good enough,
Hmm.
and listening to the people that care about me and that hear my message saying, we need more of you, not less of you. And that is the louder voice that I hear today versus beating myself down because I'm not good enough. Those people.
Mm, well, we definitely think that you are good enough. Absolutely. Because, yeah, that's said, and I'm definitely going to be going listening to more. I've listened to like about 4 or 5 of your songs as I was getting ready for this, so I'm definitely going to go listening to more. I like what you do genuinely. um, in your notes on your website, you mentioned 2 people. Um, so to close on a sort of like a fun note, one of them is Pam Tillis,
Oh, yeah.
apparently, who you've had an opportunity to meet, and she had a few things that she said to you.
Yeah, I met her in 1989. I think she was just breaking into the music scene, and she had Don't Tell Me What to Do was the song that she had charting at that time. And I was doing a festival, the Ivan Danes Cowboy Country Music Picnic with my band. And she was sitting out in front of the stage. I didn't know who she was because she was just that new. And she was just bopping out in the crowd to my band's set. And we had done a song called All Because of You that I had written at that time. And we finished our set, and she came bouncing up onto the stage, just taking ownership of the stage while I was sitting there, and grabbed my hand and started shaking my hand. She's like, "Hi, I'm Pam Tillis. Who the hell are you?" And I'm just kind of like Tony from Lethbridge, you know. And he told me that she really dug our set, and the last thing she said was kind of like, "Did I write that last song?" Because she really, really liked it. And I'm like, yeah, I did write it. And I think that, for me at that moment in time, for somebody of her caliber, that I discovered after she had said it to me, because that's when I started trying to discover a little bit more about her, really gave me some wings to keep doing this writing thing. Because mad respect for anybody, but when somebody that's in the industry actually says, yeah, like you did something there that I really dig, that just gives you more wings, right? And I carried that with me for a lot of years.
Glad,
Wow.
glad that happened.
That's
That's
wow.
amazing. I can't imagine what that would be like. Like, I
It
don't
was
know what
pretty
the
epic.
equivalent.
I met her again in Nashville in 20. I'm just trying to remember what year I went. 2014, 2015, when I did the workshop. We went to a family style restaurant. The songwriting group went, and Pam Tillis happened to be at that restaurant, and I recognized her. And every bone in my body wanted to be like, "Oh my God, Pam!" But I was feeling like, oh, I'm just gonna be all fanboy on her, like just I didn't want to creep her out or do nothing like that, because she's probably with her family having dinner, and the last thing she wants is some singer songwriter from Alberta drooling all over her talents. And but Mary, I had said something to Mary, and Mary brought her over, and Pam came over, and she's like, it was in the Red Deer, Alberta area that we met, right? And pretty sure somebody planted that seed in her head, because no part of me thinks she remembers meeting me ever. But she gave me a big hug, and it was like, you keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, so that was a pretty epic moment when, again, people of that caliber acknowledge
Mhm.
that you're doing something cool.
Excellent. The other note about another artist that was in on your web page that I noticed is, and this is an artist I am not familiar with, named Ray Spoon.
Oh yeah,
But
so
you said that there was an
they
opportunity
are,
to work with them.
yeah, just I opened for Ray. They are Google Ray is a force to be reckoned with. uh I a lot of electronica type music. Sorry, I apologize, I'm so old school. They have written a play, a book. um just an opportunity to open for Ray Spoon was an epic moment in my life. I probably didn't thank them enough, but they came up to me after I was done my set and said, it was a great set, Tony, thank you. And grateful anytime I get an opportunity. I probably, don't know how to respond quite how I should. I'm a little inept that way, but I'm trying. Yeah.
Oh, well, we like it when good things happen to good people. So hopefully, as a result of this, more good things will happen because more people will be exposed to your music. Thank you so much for making time for us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks. Nice meeting you guys, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh, trust me, our
happy
pleasure.
to host
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Have a
Anytime
wonderful
you
rest
want
of
to
the
come
weekend.
back, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe when
Yeah.
the record comes out.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We'd love to have that. All right.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Mr. Grizzly, what do you think?
She's awesome.
She's great, right?
She's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah, no, so humble. My goodness. So much of what she was saying, I can completely identify with, especially when she says, that inner voice in your head, you're not good enough. This sucks. Nobody, I've had that go on for far too long. And it's, as you get older, you learn to quiet that voice and eventually, hopefully, silence that voice. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to silence it, but I certainly can empathize and recognize and fraternize with it, if that makes any sense.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and when you sent me the song and I listened to it this morning, I was like, holy shit.
Right?
It's such a soft and tender song, and it's so heartfelt and so meaningful, but also telling some truths at the same time, which is, and she said it took her 15 minutes to write it. And I'm like, you're a songwriter, my friend. You are a songwriter. If you can knock something like that out in 15 minutes, don't give up. Keep going forward, because the world needs more of that.
And in this day and age, with the way social media works and the web, it's like there's no age anymore, right? It's not Canadian Idol anymore, where it's like you can only enter if you're 30 or under. Like this is like a good song can come from anywhere, can come from anyone, and anyone at one point can just capture a moment or how people are feeling, and that's what going viral is all about these days, right? You happen to catch a moment, ride a vibe, catch a feeling. You're the right person at the right time with the right thing, and boom.
Oh yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah. So, whatever the equivalent of going viral in Canadian numbers are, is like, I hope she goes viral.
It can be in the millions. Don't kid yourself. There's 42 million people in Canada. If it connects with 1%,
Right. Exactly. Well, you're right, actually, because we're listening to the song in the context of Bonnie Critchley specifically. But if there was no Bonnie Critchley, right? Just if this was just a song about someone named Bonnie, the themes and whatnot still resonate and connect.
They still resonate. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It just has an extra layer of
It
has an extra layer of what's the extra heavy layer of there's a word I'm thinking of and I can't come up with it right now.
Significance.
Significance, yes, but there's another term. Anyway, I'll come up with it later.
Right. But you're right, because it's connected to a specific person in a specific time in a specific moment. In case of Canada and Alberta, a specific place, right? It has all of that. But I don't see why anybody in South Dakota wouldn't turn around and say, I love this song.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it'll connect with anybody from that respect. Right.
Yeah. The themes in it are just great because everybody at some point or another is sitting at home or whatnot and thinking like, is somebody going to say something at some point? Right.
Well, and in this case, you've got two people.
Right.
There's two people saying something, right? Bonnie got up and that inspired Toni, and Toni got up, and this will inspire a lot of people.
Yep.
This is a new movement,
Yeah. That's why we say democracy is something that you do, right? Doesn't matter where your inspiration comes from.
Yeah.
Right? Toni saw somebody doing something that spoke to her, speaking in a way that resonated with her, did her own thing with that. And now this rarely happens, but both things are connected because often the person you write about doesn't hear about you, haven't written about them. Right?
That's oftentimes, yeah.
So but now these two things are together, and now there's Bonnie's thing, and then there's Tony's thing, and now there's Tony and Bonnie's thing too. There's a third thing now that lives as a result of this that's been
Hmm.
created. And as you mentioned, if whatever happens, like somebody else might, see somebody, wow, she did that. Well, you know what? Oh, this thing happened, and well, wait a minute, I got a song in me. Let's put some pen to paper.
Yeah.
Let's see what comes out.
I got
So,
to.
yeah,
I got to wrap up with you, sir, because my
absolutely,
battery's about to die.
absolutely.
Down to 20%, and it's fading.
All right, kids and cubs, that's the end of this episode of the True North Eager Beaver Interview Project. We hope that you loved this conversation because we love bringing it to you. A little bit of a change of pace for us, but hey, a nice palate cleanser every now and then is a very, very good thing, especially when we have a chance to profile some Canadians who make us proud. It's kind of a theme on our show. Remember, sharing is caring and word of mouth is priceless. So please tell your peeps and poops all about us. Share our content with a little word of yours because you are influencers in your own circle. So let them know that you see something over here that they should probably take a look at as well. Now, kids and cubs, if you would like to make sure that you do not miss an episode, you do not have to, thanks to the lovely sponsorship of the Ray Girl, who has sponsored our pod page. That is podpage.com/the True North Eager Beaver with a hyphen between each of those words. And if you scan that QR code or go over there, when you see the subscribe button, when you click it, when we have something fresh off the bandwidth, it comes to you, especially if you are on the go and can't watch us live. Well, our ears only version tends to be very, very handy. That way you can keep up with us and get through your day. It's win-win. And kits and cubs, if you would like to help us in yet another way, then you need to make like Kit Elaine and Kit Cassie and surf on down to the True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated YouTube page where we have 3 buttons for you. 1, like, 2, share, and 3, subscribe. Give them a little tickle. It makes us happy when you do, and it helps us with the algorithm. So thanks for that. If you would like to help us in yet another way, we do incur some costs to bring this show to you. And if you like what we do and would like to encourage us to do more, you can send your enthusiastic expressions of encouragement to our coffee page. That's coffee, ko-fi.com/eagerbeaver, all in one word. And there you can leave a little tip. And for some reason, the thing will not come up, even though I am clicking on it. So if you are watching, and Mr. Grizzly might be able to make the QR code come up, there it is. If you scan that, that will bring you to our page, and we thank you for leaving a little something in there. And if you are doing the Buy Canadian thing, well, truenortheagerbeaver@gmail.com is our email address. And if you send us a little something there, bank to bank, your transaction is 100% Canadian. You avoid the US CE Tech Bros, which is always a good thing. And win-win, again, we get 100% of your donation. So thank you so very much for your generosity. And thank you to everyone who has sent us something over the course of the month. We very, very much appreciate you. And every little bit helps. TrueNorthEagerBeaver@gmail.com is also our email address. So if you would want to communicate with us, to send us some show ideas, some guest ideas, let us know what you think about the show, good, bad, or ugly, some constructive criticism. That's always helpful. Your feedback and your donations all both go back into the show, and we really appreciate you taking the time to let us know what you think or to make a donation. And kits and cubs, if you want to reach us on our socials at True Eager, at the Blue Sky Beaver Lodge, and also on the shitter, True North Eager Beaver on Facebook, or right here on our YouTube page. If whether you are watching live with the DAMFAM or on your own time, please leave a little comment down below. We read absolutely everything that you send us, even though we're not able to necessarily respond to everyone. Kits and cubs, because democracy is something that you do. Again, mypcalberta.ca. Please go there and sign the petition. Very important. Also, Kits and Cubs, I believe, oh no, the date will have been passed for that one at that time, so I will not announce the petition, because it closes on the 22nd. And we are the 24th now when you are listening to this. I always have to remember that when we project into time. Mr. Grizzly, do you have some words of wisdom?
Just get out there, spread the word, and help support Bonnie and promote this song. If you like this song, help Toni. Help Toni so we can help Bonnie.
Absolutely. And if you happen to be listening at home, Kits and Cubs, Toni Vere, TONIVERE music, all in one word.com is her webpage. And if you go to YouTube at Toni Vere, again, TONIVERE, is where you can find her music. So please go there, listen to it, and if you are so inclined, share the music and share the love and share the message. All right. Could be a tough world out there, kids. So please be kind to and gentle with yourself. I guess I'm the one that's going to have to cue the cock from where I am. All right. Here we go. You are listening to a True North Eager Beaver Media Incorporated podcast. The True North Eager Beaver podcasts are proudly brought to you by our founding sponsors. The Misfit Mysteries from Corvid Moon Publishing, your source for science fiction, fantasy, and cozy mysteries featuring a broad diversity of characters. CanadianTarot.com, their uniquely Canadian online eclectic tarot community. And The Peppermaster, hot pepper sauces made from farm-fresh ingredients to thrill your taste buds and expand your mind. We are grateful to the Crier Media Network for its support, Pete Jarvis for our artwork, and Paul Joseph Something for our opening and closing sequence music.